What motivates you when you run?
I don't know. I was trying to think of a good answer for this to come back to it. I think when I start out running, sometimes I don't really want to be running. I kind of go out and my legs hurt, and I'm doing this thing. And I know I have to do the same route or the same number of miles or the same type of runner, and I get really like bored and disinterested immediately. And so I start thinking to myself, what is it that I'm going to do? Why am I doing this run? And then I think the motivation comes in that like halfway through the run, I'm thinking about everything else that's going on in my life and how running, isn't taking up that much time. So I've got this like hour to myself to to think about everything else going on in my life, and the motivation there is essentially that I've got the opportunity to uh, to sort of work out problems that I don't have time for elsewhere. So when you're sitting and reading a book or you're writing a paper and you get writer's block, you don't really have a lot of time to deal with stuff because you're constantly pressuring yourself. And so running becomes meditative in a way because it allows you to think about those problems while still doing something else. So you're running and you're thinking. When in other events, thinking is what gets in the way of you accomplishing something. So you can accomplish something while thinking, I guess, at least for me.
Can you say your name?
Don Colley.
And what do you do, Don?
I'm a teaching associate PhD student in geography at San Diego State.
Why do you run?
Um, I run for a lot of reasons, I guess, but I don't really have a particular like mindset involved in it. I think it's mostly about running from sort of internal problems or trying to run through things I need to think about, and trying to like I guess self motivate to keep the rest of my track on life. Uh, um, because I have a pretty bad at falling off the wagon and getting like behind in a lot of things, and I think that being forced to stay on a schedule with running is the sort of good motivational technique to keep intact with everything else.